close, I whittled them down. Sticking to them by sticking around. The gang all on Iwo Jima got one flag and it's sticking the ground. Setting up shop. Think I got the message across. Came for the titles, impressed with the watch. We play at the levels of Letterman jocks. Pins on the jacket, the man's abundant. The point of the road was banned and rugged. Hushing, I'm plotting on pants in London. The products are not being scared of some judgment. Gotta stay in the cut. Cut you off if you ain't making the cut. Couldn't tell you who the hell is behind us. You start to forget when you stay in the front of it's up. And it's up for grabs, no remorse of who I'm taking it from. Numbers I give on my scoreboard is the only form of us staying in touch, that's staying enough. It's time to receive all of the favors I've done. Too late for y'all to switch teams, everybody getting big leagues. Product flying out the shelf, what's in store for us? Known to hit a hole in one, look at the crowd and shoulder shrug. Shots are limited, I'm scared mango with the golden gun. Posted up, ready for whatever, boy, you know what's up. Time's close, I whittled them down. Sticking to them by sticking around. The gang all on Iwo Jima got one flag and it's sticking the ground. Setting up shop. Think I got the message across. Came for the titles, impressed with the watch. We play at the levels of Letterman jocks. Shout out to Steve. The boy getting love from the harsh critics. Strauss hit me bi-weekly to tell me keep taking it further. You aren't finished and I gotta listen. Any son of believing and see that I'm actually breathing and doing it real time. Love to pull an idea out thin air, act on it and profit in real life. If we not aligned, don't present me a dotted line. Yeah, I'm a QB, but I ain't handing out nothing for someone to monetize. And it goes to the birds too. Can't give it a time of $1, so cut her eyes. They get X'd out for they had the potential to be my ex. I know all the plays, I'm a seasoned vet. Yeah. Always showing up, known to hit a hole in one. Look at the crowd and shoulder shrug. Shots are limited, I'm scared mango with the golden gun. Posted up, ready for whoever, boy, you know what's up. Time's close, I whittled them down. Sticking to them by sticking around. The gang all on Iwo Jima got one flag and it's sticking the ground. Setting up shop. Think I got the message across. Came for the titles, impressed with the watch. We play at the levels of Letterman jocks. Time's close, I whittled them down. Sticking to them by sticking around. The gang all on Iwo Jima got one flag. Yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. Well, I guess we're not right after ATB right now, but we're like somewhat after ATB. But what is going on, Candle Mafia? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in on today's live stream to do... I don't know how long we're going to do the TA for because we're starting at a weird time, but we're going to do a whole bunch of TA, guys. We're going to drop the sauce on you tonight. I apologize for being late. Like I said in the Discord, me and Tony D got a little carried away eating the macaroni. We went to lunch at 12 at lunchtime, and we've just been eating macaroni for like 6 hours. But these Italians, they get carried away with the macaroni, guys. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us here on the live stream. There's a lot of things you guys could be doing with your time, but you chose to spend it here with the Candle Mafia and your boy Frankie Candles, and I do appreciate you. Shout out to Tony D with the $2 super chat, said right here at 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after a drive back to the studio from the only Italian restaurant here in Atlanta. But guys, thank you for tuning in. We got a whole lot to talk about tonight as we've gotten to move up on Bitcoin, and if you guys saw the market update that we put out a little earlier today, this move may or may not have been that really surprising to us, but we're going to break down kind of where the next targets are to the upside. Are we going to see this pump continue to the upside, or are we hitting serious enough resistance at this level to turn back around and come down to lower prices? We're going to be covering it all on tonight's live stream, but before we get into it, don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure, where you guys will have multiple chances to win some free crypto and maybe a Frankie Candles hat or a premium Discord membership if we hit our like goal of 550 likes. We're going to add a Frankie Candles hat to that giveaway if we hit that 550 like goal. And what did we do yesterday? Did we have... let's see. Did we have... what did we get on last night's premiere? Did we get 550 likes? Let's see. Let me check. Well, we'll check at the end of the stream. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Shout out to Hannah King, says, Frankie, you're late. Not acceptable, my friend. Well, guys, it looks like I'm in trouble with the female. I always say female Candle Mafia representative. Looks like I'm in trouble with Hannah King, our Candle Mafia princess. Hannah, I'm sorry, Hannah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me, and do not tell on me. Don't tell the candle gods I was late. Sometimes you got to house that macaroni. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Hannah King. Thank you for the super chat. And let's go ahead and just say what's up to the Mafia real quick, and then we'll jump right into the charts because we are falling behind schedule here. Shout out to Hannah King, as always. Tony D, thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you, obviously. B-Rad Crypto, what is going on? We got Mark Harris, Jessica, our female Candle Mafia representative. Jessica, how you doing? Thank you for being here. We got Multi-Sig Dummy in the chat. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. We got Crypto Chef, Caveman, CCC, also known as Crimson Caravan Company. What is going on, man? Thank you for tuning in. We got Eric Lawrence in the house. We got Darren Does Things. What is going on? Saying what's up to Multisig. Let's go. Let's see. Chris, what is going on? We got Ziva Crypto Girl. Shout out to Ziva Crypto Girl. Thank you for tuning in. Hodl Crypto Bro Tip. And last but not least, we got Doc Holiday in the chat. And Tamer. What is going on, Tamer? But guys, I don't want to waste too much time here in the shout-outs. I want to dive right into the charts because we do have limited time here, and we do have some interesting stuff to look at. So let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Here we go. Smash that like button. Let's get it. All right, guys. Here we go. Shout out to Greg Gonzalez. Says, XRP Army, let's go. We will take a look at XRP today, guys. But let's go ahead and start here on Bitcoin because we do have some very interesting stuff to look at. Okay, so we came down, then we went up, and that's about it. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I'm just kidding. Hopefully you guys brought your to-go containers because I was telling Darren Does Things. He said, you better bring extra sauce tonight, bro. You were late. And I said, we're going to give you sauce to go. We're going to give you some sauce to go here. But guys, here we are on the Bitcoin weekly chart. Now, I'm actually not going to really break too much down on the weekly here. The one thing that I do kind of want to talk about on these higher time frames is obviously the fact that not on the leverage exchanges, but if we pull something up like the Bitstamp chart, which is just a spot exchange, we are still technically putting in a higher low here from these lows that we made back in June. And if you guys remember, I kind of talked about this, I believe, maybe we talked about it in the market update. Shout out to Crypto Trucker Mike said, chart champ, Frankie Candles, let's go. Shout out to you, bro. We're going to be, we're going to be chart champing tonight, that's for sure. But as you guys know, we have our value area low down here, which we're going to take a look at closer in a second. But, as we were looking for this move down, guys, we were looking, our original plan, I talked about this last night, our original plan here was to come down and potentially put in a higher low to continue our macro trend to the upside, right? You have your low, your high, your lower, your higher low, your higher high, your higher low, your higher high, and then a potential higher low is what we were looking for. And we actually did indeed get that here on the Bitstamp chart, right? And I could actually just pull the range here now, right? And we were saying, hey, if we get this big move down to the value area low, we could still potentially put in that higher low and then continue this trend to the upside, breaking these yearly highs. Now, obviously, I am not really expecting these yearly highs to get broken at this point, just because we have all these other bearish things popping up, such as the money flow coming out on the higher daily time frames. We are below the 200-week moving average. We are in September, which is typically a bearish month for crypto. I think there's only been 3 bullish or green monthly candles on Bitcoin's history of September. Green September monthly candles. Obviously, there's been many more than 3 green monthly candles on Bitcoin. But I believe all the Septembers, out of all Septembers throughout crypto, only 3 of those months were green. So we do have a lot of reason to continue to the downside in the longer term, right? And, you know, even when we go back and compare this to some price action in 2017, very similarly, you know, you come up in that bear market rally, you peak out, and then you essentially you go down for the rest of the bear market, you know, more or less, right? And we did come down here and put this higher low in, which obviously, you know, I've been talking about a potential higher low coming in here for a long time. If you guys had seen my video that I put out on the channel a few months ago, talking about is the bull market confirmed, is the bottom in, and I talked about kind of where I expected or how I expected the rest of the bear market to play out, and one of those kind of scenarios, the major scenario we were looking for was if this was the top of the bear, we were looking for the bear market rally to potentially continue higher, but whether we came up or not higher than 30,100 31.8, if we broke these highs, regardless of if we came higher or not, what we were looking for was for some kind of a bear market rally to come in, and then potentially, once it tops out, we would expect price to kind of come down, be kind of boring, to be quite honest with you, and just kind of come down, bing-bong around a little bit, maybe even come down for a potential kind of double bottom scenario, kind of similar to what we had here in 2019 or 2020, where you did have a slightly higher low, but it was also kind of like a double bottom, and that was kind of what I was looking at, right? A potential retest of some of the lows down here. And again, you know, we've done this a bunch of times. If you pull your macro fib here, you can see that we do have a 786 down here close to 19K. That could be an area that we kind of go down to test before winding up coming back higher and then, you know, wiggling around sideways till we hit that halving and then off into our next bull run. It would be, you know, very, very similar to what happened back here, right? Because if you pull your fib, we've done this many times, from the high to the low, you could see, at least on the weekly chart, you came down to test that 786. You wicked lower, but you wound up, this is not perfectly pulled. I don't want to waste the time to, you know, get the exact wick, but you did wind up holding that 786. And looking in hindsight, right, it was bear market rally. You come down for the golden pocket retest, little bounce. You go for the 786. You get the panic wicks, but you wind up holding that 786. And then you come up, bing bong around sideways till the halving in the next bull run. And that's kind of similar to what we've been looking for kind of in this cycle. And I just wanted to cover that very briefly. And my original plan here was, hey, if we are going to see this bear market rally continue to higher prices, kind of what we were looking at was this little range from the top of the bull market. We were looking to come up and potentially test this POC, which would technically be one of the major targets to the upside if we did continue higher. But again, because of the bearish things I just went over, I don't know if I would necessarily be expecting higher prices for this bear market rally. But I do just want to point out on the spot exchanges, the reason I talk about this, or the reason I bring this up, is because we are technically still have not really cracked this actual low down here at about 24,800. But again, doesn't mean that I'm expecting to break these yearly highs, but it is somewhat interesting here. I do just want to point that out. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Again, higher time frames, still have money flow coming out. Your weekly money flow has crossed over into the red. That is more bearish, right? This is what's giving us our longer-term bearish sentiment. 6-day. You can see your VWAP is also, your money flow is also consistently coming out here, which would be a little bit more bearish than bullish, in my opinion. And then if we continue down here, 5-day, money flow is crossed over into the red, but we are now crossing back over into the green as we print these green dots on the higher daily time frames. Now, remember, This is the only higher daily time frame that has money flow looking somewhat bullish, crossing over into the green. So we don't want to get faked out by this, right? Because, again, if you look at the 3-day, money flow in the red. Look at the 4-day, money flow is freshly crossed over into the red. And then your 5-day is kind of the only one popping up into the green here. So we have to be careful that this could be a fake out money flow crossover into the green. But, again, you know, this is what gives us our overall bearish sentiment moving forward in the long term, right? Because if that money flow is coming out on the higher daily time frames, it's indicating that the macro trend is likely going to switch bearish, right? Because it's been bullish for a while. Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Technically a higher low. I don't think we're going to put in a higher high because of money flow coming out. So this could be where we get a lower high, right? And then roll back around and start a more macro downtrend, again, to potentially go test some of those levels lower down between 19 and 18K, right? So that's kind of what gives us our more macro bearish sentiment. But look what we have here. Green dots on the 5-day. 6-day, looking to print that green dot somewhat soon. 4-day, green dot just confirmed. Your 3-day obviously has had the green dot confirmed for quite some time, and this is partly why we were looking for this bounce to come in here, right? And shout out to the volume profiles, guys, because you know, you really can't make this up. If we just go ahead and let me hide some of this stuff for you guys. Let's hide the local. And let me just hide this fib. I'll just get rid of this fib. Obviously, guys, you know, we were looking at this as a place to go long from, right? We were not looking at this as some kind of, oh my God, we're breaking the levels, we're going to zero, right? You don't want to get overly bearish at the value area low. And you guys will remember that, let me come down to a little bit of a lower time frame. We were actually comparing this kind of price action that we're seeing right here to the same kind of price action that we saw happen back here. And you guys will remember we went over this where we put some bull divs in on some very specific time frames at the value area low, where we then got a correction all the way up to the POC at about 28K before continuing back down. And then once we started slipping these levels, we talked about this in the market update this morning. You know, everybody's thinking like, oh my God, we're breaking critical support. We're going to zero. Everybody hold on. I told you 10K was incoming. And then what happens? All the bears get wrecked and we come all the way back up to the value area high. This is why we don't get overly bearish at the value area low, right? We came down here. Even though we broke this level, we were looking for those very specific confirmations. If you watch the live show, right? Lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves on the 12-hour. We were literally waiting for this move. We saw these bull divs forming right here, right? You have lower lows on your price action to right here, and you had your higher lows on your momentum waves right here. But then things got a little murky. It looked like we may get one more dump, and we were talking about, hey, if we get that next dump, watch out, because we could just wind up putting in another bullish divergence on the 12-hour as well as the 16-hour and the daily, which were kind of the main signals that were letting us know, like, hey, like, what is the theory here, right? Like, what are we thinking right now as we're seeing price deviate below this low? Well, we know one thing, that when price is below this value area low at 25,681, we can consider this as undervalued, right? Or oversold. So if this is considered oversold or undervalued, you're thinking, well, if it's undervalued, you might get a correction to the upside. And on top of that, you had all these confirmations with the bull divs on these higher time frames letting you know that, hey, not only are you undervalued, but you're actually getting technical signals saying there might be a bounce incoming here. And regardless of all that, what are you thinking about? Once you go below the value area low, you're thinking it's oversold, and you're expecting to potentially get sucked back into your value area, flip the value area low to support, and then continue to Creighton C. Creighton C. Let's go. Shout out to Cryptic. Yo, shout out to Cryptic Sniper. POC, right? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that move up to the POC once you hold that value area low as support. But that's just if you're looking at the kind of laws of the volume profile, right? You're just, okay, we're slipping the value area low. I know that this is generally considered undervalued or oversold. So let's see if we can get sucked back into that value area, more specifically towards the POC, because the POC typically acts as a magnet, right? So through all of this stuff, like, you see how all these things come together to give you one kind of decision, right? And it's you're below the value area low, so you're already thinking, like, we might get sucked back up into the value area, and then you put the bullish divergences in, and then you also had money flow coming up on some of the time frames, such as, you know, the 4 hours kind of been creeping up here over time, has finally crossed over into the green. But that's kind of how we wound up here, right? And remember, like, how many people were calling, like, here's the quick move. Well, we're going to get that quick move down to 23K, guys. Like, it's coming. It's coming. And this is why everyone always gets wrecked, right? Same thing here. Everybody was calling for lower lows. And it's like, this is where typically when you see the whole internet calling for lower lows, and I'm not going to lie, like, it does, when I hear people, everybody and their grandma was bearish here, right? Not looking for a bounce. They're all bearish, right? And I'm not saying that they're bad or wrong for thinking that, but we're able to use the volume profiles to let us know when everyone else is feeling bearish. If we're at a value area low like this and we're seeing Market Cipher B give us these signals, we know it's not likely that we're just going to instantly nuke to the floor, right? And that's why our sentiment has been looking for a macro retracement to the upside before more downside, because everyone sees the death cross on the daily. Everyone sees that we're below the 200-week moving average, but they think it's going to be an instant dump, and that's very unlikely the case, or oftentimes that is not the case, right? It's actually the opposite. We were talking about the daily death cross. We were actually talking about how typically you see the opposite. Typically you see a pump after the death cross, and I'll actually pull it up right here. You can see we got that death cross right here, and well, look at that. What happened as soon as we got the death cross? We got the pump. Right? And we talked about this on the live stream. Like, this happens very often. And, that's why you'll see a lot of people out there over the past few days being like, oh, my God, we're going to zero. We're going to zero. We're going to dump down to lower prices. And it's because you have the death cross. You're below the 200-week moving average. Like, all this stuff. We're in September. It's super bearish. Where it's not that that's the wrong idea, because it is true. We're in Rectember, right? We are below the 200-week moving average. We do have a death cross on the daily. These are all bearish things. But the market doesn't move in a straight line. The market moves in highs, lows, lower highs, higher lows, and you need retracements to come in at some point, right? So that's how the market moves. So we knew that it was kind of unlikely to just nuke from here all the way down to these lower prices. You need to get a correction to come in, and these are the very specific signals. We're giving it all away here on the live stream. Like, this is exactly what we're looking for these bounces, and if you tune into the live stream, over time, eventually, you're going to start seeing this stuff on the charts yourself, where you don't even have to hear me say it. You guys will wind up seeing this stuff by yourselves, and you'll easily be able to kind of spot them. And the next time you come down to a value area low, eventually, after you see it play out enough, you're going to start thinking to yourself like, well, hey, we're at the value area low. We typically get bounces here. If we deviate and Market Cipher B looks bullish, that's where I'm looking for the long position. And we are in that long position with the premium Discord. From down here at 25,250 is my actual entry on this trade. I only know that because I looked at it in the market update. So let's see, 25,250. I'll just go ahead and I'll try to get that as close as possible. 273. We'll give myself a little bit of a worse entry than I actually got. And here we are, right? So really what I'm looking for here is to potentially, actually, the scalp long is kind of played out in full at this point. But that's what we're looking at in the macro, guys. Like, we're going to go into the local price action. What is Bitcoin going to do over the next day or so in just a second? But I don't want you guys to sleep on the macro. And I talked about this in the market update. I want to cover the macro, the more zoomed out perspective, and then I want to zoom into the lower time frames, right? So I want to make this very simple. When I'm talking about the longer term, I'm simply looking at this value area, right? And we know by looking at the higher time frames that we were likely to get a bounce here, and we are looking for a potential move to the upside. Three main levels I'm looking at is the POC at 28,050, right? That could be an area where we reject hard. Or we could potentially, because we're above this value area low, you're already expecting to come to the POC. And if you flip that POC, you're looking to come into the golden pocket, value area high, 786 zone right here. And this is really where I'm looking for the saucy shorts, guys, because this is, again, based off of market structure, this is going to be the main area where you would put in the macro lower high before continuing down to lower prices. So that's kind of the macro. When in doubt, simplify it with the volume profiles. You have the macro range, you come down, you hold support, you look for the move up to the value area high potentially, by also being careful at that POC for some turbulence. Now, that's the same thing. It's like the same sentiment has remained the same, and I'm passionate about driving this home because the signals are pretty clear here. Bullish divergence, as you deviate below the value area low, money flow coming up, you're looking for the bounce. And there you go. So there's no guarantees we get up to these higher prices, but this is kind of what I'm looking at in the macro. All the levels to the upside remain exactly the same. And again, when you're zoomed out like this, you're not expecting this move to happen tomorrow. you're expecting a mess of price action. You're probably expecting a cool off. Maybe you come all the way back down to the value area low, and then you range around down here. You get all confused. Then you get a random pump to the POC. You get another rejection. It gets all messy up in here. But eventually, and eventually, potentially, you will get up potentially to this. No guarantees, but eventually you are looking to, potentially come up to that value area high. And which is also in pretty beautiful confluence with your golden pocket 786 retracement, which is where you're looking for that lower high to come in anyway. So very simply put, we will, over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we could potentially expect to see a move up into these levels, but only to roll back around and come down lower. So bearish in the long term, a little bit more bullish in the short term. So now I want to zoom into this area of price action and just talk about kind of the local levels we have here. What local levels of resistance are we hitting? Are they strong? Could we turn around right here and come lower, or is it more likely to come up higher? So let's go ahead and cover that right now. So I'm going to come on down to, let's come to the 4 hour to zoom in again to the more local price action here. And things are pretty clear. Now, if you guys watch the live stream, we've been looking at this stuff for a while, right? And what were we looking at? We were looking, obviously, if you're trading the local profile, we deviated from the low. We got some bullish signals. And this is really kind of where I found my entry, right? 25,250 right here. Go ahead and unhide that. And what really, like for this trade, what we were looking for was a potential. I'm not going to talk about, confirmations or anything like that. But, we knew we had the deviation below the low. And one of the main targets for this trade was this value area high. And the reason I show this, guys, is because look at the reliability of the value areas, right? If you can learn how to trade this system, the way we trade it in the premium Discord, right? You are simply put, you are looking, when you deviate from the value area high, you're looking for your bearish confirmations to bring it back down to the low. Right? And then when you hit the low, you're looking to bring it back down to the high. Obviously, you got choked out on the POC here, but then we deviated below the low. You're looking for your long position. Naturally, you're going to look to take that to the POC and potentially the value area high. Once you get to that value area high, you could take profit, move your stop loss to break even, and then hold that potential moon bag for a bigger move to the upside. Now, zooming in here, we are hitting a very interesting level of support resistance here. Now, it's the local value area high. Like I said, remember, in the longer term, we are potentially expecting to get a bigger move up here. But it's not just going to be a straight move up. Likely we are going to get cool-offs, and it's going to be ugly, and it's going to be confusing. So that's where the local analysis comes in, right? Zooming in here, like, what can we expect? What is that noise going to look like? Well, when you analyze the lower time frames with the volume profiles, you could kind of see where these retracements might come in, because we know that we're hitting the value area high right here, as well as we've got a perfect test on that golden pocket, and we could easily see a little bit of consolidation or even maybe a cool off here, and I'll show you guys exactly why I feel like that in a second. Shout out to Dave Digital, says, sneaky, touche, boss, touche. I don't know what you're talking about, Dave. I wish I did, because I would be very joking about it. But I really don't know what you're talking about. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let me know. I'm curious what you're talking about. But here we are at the value area high, right? And this is kind of the first area where I was looking for a decent rejection. And part of the reason was the fact that it's the value area high golden pocket. But we also have some single prints up here, which I would like to come up and fill. They are getting a little bit closer. Let me actually just go ahead and pull up ExoCharts real quick. I'm not really going to talk you guys through what all this is. I don't want anyone getting super confused, but I do just want to check the price of where these single prints are sitting. Bear with me. So, yeah, these single prints are sitting between 26,945 and 26,985. And oftentimes with these single prints, guys, price does like to, I know a lot of people are probably looking at this what is this science experiment? But a lot of times, guys, price does like to come up and fill those single prints before reversing back to the downside. And you can see we just front ran that level. So what I would really like to see here, I don't know if we're going to fill these single prints right now. We may get a move down first to fill some other single prints that we have down here, which, again, oftentimes, if I could break this down very simply for you guys, I'm not really going to explain it in depth, but essentially you could think of these single prints as untested areas on the chart. And a lot of times price likes to go test those levels and fill these single prints, meaning simply just come down and touch them before going in the direction that it wants to go. And you can see here they are always formed in these big moves to the upside or big moves to the downside, and oftentimes they correlate with volume gaps, right? So oftentimes, like you can see, like what actually causes these single prints is, again, I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but you could kind of see, you can see how you have multiple letters here. N, you have N, U, V, W right here. So this is 4 letters, 4 letters, 4 letters. Then you have 2 letters, and then you have 1 letter. These are single prints, right? So that's, and then obviously it marks them out automatically. But those are actual single prints. And when you zoom out and you look at this volume profile, I mean, look, that's where your volume gaps are, right? So if you pull up something like TradingView, you could see those single prints down here. You could see, like, obviously there is a big fall off in volume down here. So again, we do have those right up in this area as well. I was hoping to come up and fill those single prints, looking for a saucy short position, but we may actually wind up front running them. It's kind of hard to tell right now. But again, I do want to point out, I do think in the long term we could potentially continue up, but we have to be careful of this local rejection, right? Because we're hitting that a pretty strong level of resistance here. So if we are going to cool off, it's likely that it's going to happen off of this key level that we have right here. And even if we get another pump up, we may even come up and play around in this box, but I would still be looking for a eventual cool off to come in here before actually continuing higher. Just number one, because of the key levels and the strength of the key levels that we have within here, but also look at your 4-hour VWAP, right? Once you start combining all this stuff, guys, like things can get pretty high probability for your trades, right? Because not only are you hitting these key levels, but look at your VWAP on your 4-hour. Kind of looks like you're about to print a red dot, right? So we can expect that to potentially be the start of our cool off here. I'm going to get back to chat in a second. I saw that we got some super chats. I see that there is a G at the top of the chat with the number 50 next to it. I think I know what that is. I will come in and check in on that stuff in a second, but I want to get through this because we are a little bit behind, obviously, because I started late. But this is, not just the fact that we're at key resistance, but you also are seeing a red dot potentially looking to print here on Market Cipher B on the 4-hour time frame. So if we are going to get that retracement, I do think that red dot on the 4-hour may be where we start to see it come in. And we'll talk about the key levels to the downside if you're not in a long position where you may be able to start looking for one. However, coming down to the 15-minute, this is kind of, here's the thing, right? I was late. Here's the thing. Shout out to Dave Digital, PM EST. Dude, what is going on? Dave, what is going on? Are you speaking code to me, bro? Are you okay? Is this Morse code? Are you telling me to help you? Are you calling for help, Dave? Let me know. Shout out to Dave Digital. What is with the apples? Oh, my God. Okay, continuing on. 6 p.m. EST, yes. But here's the thing, guys. Like, I want to talk about this because I think a lot of people get confused, and I think a big thing that gives a lot of people a big breakthrough in their trading or just in their analysis is separating your time frames, right? Because what is going on here, right? You have your 4-hour potentially looking to print a red dot, but do you just short that red dot? No, right? Or me personally, I definitely don't. And you need more confirmation than that. So what would I do here? Well, I know the 4-hour red dot is likely to start a significant move to the downside, right? Or a significant retracement to the downside. But do you just blindly enter the trade? No, you don't want to do that, right? So what I like to do is I know we hit key resistance here, right? We have the 4-hour red dot looking to print, so I know that more downside may be ahead, right? And this is for a scalp trade, right? Like the longer term trade would be the long, right? Because we are expecting this uptrend to potentially continue, but we are expecting a little bit of a drop first, right? But what I like to do here, I know the 4-hour bias would be, for a move to the downside. So what I like to do is I need to zoom in on this local price action right here. And I need to break this down on a lower time frame, aka zoom in to get a higher resolution picture to what price looks like in this area. And then I can analyze this local area to try to find a local short entry that will likely play out in my favor, because if I could get a local entry into a short here, I know if that local short starts to play out, I know that if I'm in the green, I know that the 4-hour is likely going to print that red dot soon and assist that move to the downside. So here's what I would do, right? Here's a little look into how I would trade this, right? So I know the red dot's coming. I'm already thinking we might get a move down, right? Let's check the lower time frames, right? Because if we get a red dot on the 4-hour and we have money flow coming out on the lower time frames, this can kind of give us an indication that we are generally going to get a move down. So let's come down to the 30-minute. I like to start on the 30-minute. What do we have? Well. We do actually have money flow coming out. Very interesting, right? Coming down to the 15-minute. Well. We also have money flow generally trending out over time, right? Generally flowing out over time. It's even coming out locally as well, right? You can see you are starting to come down locally. So what can we deduce from this? Well, let's take a look. Again, you don't just want to FOMO in here, right? Because, you could enter the trade here, and then the lower time frames look like we're going to get a retracement, and a lot of people would have seen that, VWAP coming down. They would have entered a short here. Oh, my God, we're breaking down, and then the retracement would have come in, and you would have gotten stopped out of your trade. But if you come here, right, 24-minute green dot, fresh green dot, 30-minute green dot and trigger wave, fresh, right? What's your 15-minute doing? Your 15 minutes looking to roll over a little bit, right? So what I would do here is analyze this local price action, right? And if you guys can, just to make this make sense, this is the 4-hour. I want to zoom in here to see if I could find an entry. So we go down to the 30-minute. Now this is what the candles look like, right? Now we have much more to analyze here, much more high resolution. There's more pixels here, right? It's a higher resolution view, right? So take the 15-minute, zoom in on the 15-minute. Well, look at this. We actually have a range here. So let me go ahead and use the volume profile and pull this range, because if I can just trade this local range and find a short locally, let's just, for example, say, look, well, hey, even on the 24-minute fresh green dot, we may be able, on this fresh green dot, it's not even confirmed yet, we might be able to push back up to the value area high. And if we did get up to that value area high, you could look for a local short position, right? And then say you enter that short on the lower time frame, right? Now your 15-minute looks like it's going to roll over. Your 30-minute VWAP starting to roll over. You enter the short position, and obviously you want to be a little bit safer. This is a very, very small move. So this is basically just how I enter, right? So you would come up here, right? Get some bearish confirmations. You're just looking to get a local short. Once you're in profit here, you can move your stop loss to your break even, right? So now it's a risk-free trade. And you already know in the back of your head, I know that 4-hour red dot is coming soon, right? So if I can come up here, and again, 30-minute red dot, I'm not necessarily jumping right into the trade right now because I know that we might get a local move up first. So why not wait for that better entry? So if you get that retracement, we now have context, right? Well, hey, if we come up to the value area high like this, and look at that, you're getting the push up, right? That's why you don't short on the breakdown. You want to short on the pumps, right? It's the opposite of what you would think. You want to short when price is pumping. You do not want to short when price is breaking down, right? Because oftentimes that's how you're going to get caught on the wrong side of the trade. And I know it sounds backwards for anybody who's new here. I know it sounds backwards, but it's really the way you want to trade. But wait for your entry. So we know we have the value area high here, right? We're basically just developing a trading plan, right? So let's go ahead. We'll pull some fibs here, see if we can get any confluence. Well, look at that. Your golden pocket is right up on that value area high, right? It's a little bit of free sauce here, but now we know. Like, we got a golden pocket, we got a value area high, and we know this is a high likelihood of getting rejected here. So I don't know if you're going to get lucky enough to get pushed all the way back up here, but just in general, you don't want to FOMO into these trades. You want to wait for the retracement up, find your short entry here, and then knowing that your 4-hour is likely going to print that red dot, you know that you kind of have that time frame in your kind of just backing you up. And this is where you can get a nice entry, and I would potentially be targeting, the POC of the, not the micro range, but the more macro range right here. Not the super macro range, but the local range. This is like a hyper local range. But, you could wind up, targeting something like that POC. But that's kind of how I zoom in to find my entries, guys. Because you don't just want to blindly enter. You got to zoom into the price action, make sense of the price action that's playing out here, right? Because I'm not going to short on this breakdown because I know that we're likely deviating below the value area low and we're likely to get a retracement to the upside. So I'm sitting on my hands and I'm waiting for price to come up into an area where I feel safe shorting. I'm not just shorting blindly. So there you go. And we are continually pushing up here, right? So it just proves the point that you don't want to just short at support or short on a breakdown. Sit on your hands. Now, this is kind of how you make the plan. It's a little bit of a quick and dirty version, but there is more that goes into this. But just in general, here's your plan. You have the 4-hour red dot coming, right? And again, there's more analysis that goes into this. But just locally for this trade, you have the 4-hour looking to cool off, right? So you're bearish on the 4-hour. So your bias on the longer time frame is bearish for this specific trade, right? So you're bearish in the short term on the 4-hour. So you're looking for a scalp short. But do you want to short right now? Well, maybe not. You come down to the 15-hour. You analyze the price action locally. Well, hey, It looks like we might get a continued push up here. I'm going to wait for a better entry. If it comes into my kill zone here, this is where I'm going to look to enter the short, and likely I will get a better entry before getting that bigger move down. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Hopefully I help somebody out there. But that's kind of what I would be looking at as far as local price action, right? So I do think we can come down, and it's so hard, right? Because it's so hard for me to kind of figure out how much I want to break things down because trading is intricate, right? And just technical analysis is very, very, very intricate. And, because I could sit up here and say, hey, I'm expecting to move down on the 4. Look, we're at our support, our resistance, right? 4-hour red dot. I'm expecting a retracement, but this is proof that you can't just hear someone say that and short. You could, but you might go for a little ride. But you want to go down to those lower time frames and get those confirmations. So you have the red dot on the 4-hour. You have your 24-minute money flow coming out, your 15-minute money flow coming out, your 12-minute money flow coming out, your 10-minute money flow is also coming out. VWAP rolling back to the downside. So these are all things that are aligning with each other, letting you know that we might get that move down. And because of the 30-minute fresh green dot, this would let you know that this might not be the ideal time to enter, but you might want to wait for a move up to find a better entry. And the analysis that we just did on the 15-minute would be how you find that kill zone to look to go short from. So there you go, guys. I give you a little bit of sauce on the trade entries. Again, there is more that goes into it than that, but I just like to break it down a little bit more for you guys because things are intricate, and I don't want to I don't want to confuse people, but I also want you guys to have the real sauce, right? You could enter on the 4-hour, but really, when I'm trading, I'm going down and I'm looking at all these things. I'm taking all these things into consideration, and that's how you catch these sniper trades, right? That's how, again, it's people say all the time, dude, someone will come up to me and be like, hey, are you in a trade? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, what trade are you in? And I show them this. Right? And then they look at this and they're like, how are you long from the bottom? And it's just this is how you do it, right? I just be like, hey, tune in my live stream. I'll show you how to do it every day. And I will, let me see if I have that actual trade open here. Bear with me. So here you go. Yeah, I am in 2 trades, actually. Still in the maker short, still up 72%. Profits locked in. And then this is the long up 106%. Whoops. Up 106%. Small profits locked in. I just did that to, for the most part, just to get rid of the fees. I was paying fees, so I just wanted that to be green. But yeah, I just took a small profits, but I do think we could continue up here. You can see we are testing this moving average here. Not that I really pay attention to moving averages. This is just stock on Femex. But yeah, up 106%. Got the profits locked in. And I will be moving my stop loss here very soon to guarantee that as a winning trade. This is already a guarantee. The short on maker is already a guaranteed winning trade. If I get stopped out here, I make money, right? So there you go. If you guys want to sign up for Femex, you can check out our link in the description down below. Tony D can probably let you guys know if they're doing any kind of deals right now. A lot of times they will give you bonus funds to trade with. You cannot withdraw them, but once you make profit on them, sometimes there's a certain amount. Sometimes there's no amount, but a lot of times what they do is they'll give you the bonus funds. You can't withdraw them, so if they give you a $100 bonus, you can't withdraw it, but if you turn that $100 into $500, you get to withdraw the $400 profit that you made, right? So it's kind of like risk-free trading, but it's no risk. But if you make profit, you could take out the profit. It's nice. It's just basically free money to trade with, extra money to trade with. But definitely check that link in the description. And Tony D, there he goes. Spam the link. Tony, let him know if there's any deals. But yeah, there you guys go. So it's not, we're not just talking about this stuff, guys. We trade this stuff. I don't always show the trades, but we trade this stuff. But anyway. That's what we're looking for, right? If we push up higher into this box, I am not expecting a big move up here. I'm kind of expecting to cool off here a little bit, right? Because of the things that we just went over. And then where can we come down to? Before we move on to the altcoins, I do want to talk about kind of where we could cool off to. And there's kind of 2 major areas that I am looking at. Area number 1 is going to be the golden pocket, 786 POC confluence right here. Coming in between about 25,981 and 26,184. And that's going to be kind of the first local retracement I would be looking for. I don't know if we're going to break it. Now, if we did break this level, this would kind of be the plan for me. If you pull your kind of full retracement here from the low to the high, you can see you have your golden pocket here between 25,560 and 25,624, right about here, which I can almost guarantee you if you pulled this volume profile, you'd be able to get a value area low pretty close to that. There you go, right in perfect confluence. Like, you could see this stuff. When you look at this stuff long enough, guys, you could just spot it with your eyes without even pulling the ranges. Continue, and this is that is the one of the local ranges that we have been looking at. Let me actually pull this to our current price. I want to see where that lines up. Yeah, I mean, it's like all the perfect confluence you can ask for, right? Golden pocket at the local value area low. I would watch that. I would watch that level. However, if you were able to come down to this value area low between 25, I would just say at about 25,340. This would also be a big level to watch, as well as that golden pocket. This is kind of all one range, right? If you lose the golden pocket, I would hold on for the value area low. But if we are going to wind up cooling off here, this is kind of what I would be expecting, right? Maybe we cool off, right? A little bing bong, put in a higher low here, and then continue higher. And I would be careful, because remember, if we reject here legitimately and we come down to this PLC and we get a big bounce, you could still get rejected up in this purple box to come back down to this value area low. What I would really prefer to see here, and it would be the kind of most confusing, this would kind of be the most confusing and annoying thing to happen, but I would like to see it because of what we have down here. What I do think is possible is if we do cool off here and we do not get a big bounce, I would much prefer to see a move all the way back down to this value area low to test this 786 of this entire move up, right? And then we could put a higher low in here, right? And you're already naturally looking for longs at your value area low. So if we get back down to that level, you could kind of just start looking for fresh longs before coming up, and then maybe that's where you attack those higher prices. But either way, locally, I do think it's more likely than not that, once you get this little local retracement back up off this 30-minute green dot, I do think, maybe even reject here, I do think it is more likely than not that we will get some kind of a cool-off to come in here. But again, I will be looking for it to put in a higher low to then eventually attack this purple box a little more aggressively. And then once we get above this box, that's where I'm zooming out, coming on and starting to look for a move up to the 28K POC. And then once we get there, we got to reassess the situation to see if it's more likely for us to come up and put the lower high in where we really want it to come in, which is right here. So there you guys go. There's a lot of ranges. There's a lot of ranges. There's a lot of levels. But this is what you have to do. You have to break the market down into these little separate sections, because what are we doing here? We are simply trading the macro volume profile. We're at the low. We're looking for longs. But, to get a clear look into what is going on at these lows, you want to zoom in to the local price action, and it gives you full clarity, right? Like we're not going to be looking for a fresh long right here because we know we're hitting the high of the range. It's much more likely for us to cool off to the POC or the value area low before getting another move up. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin right now, guys. There it is. Let's see. Multi-sig Dummy, thank you for the $5 super chat, bro. I appreciate you. He said, Frankie Candles, I met my wife at the value area low. I saw her volume profile. I was hesitant, so I pulled my fib out and saw the golden pocket, so I longed it. Shout out to Multi-sig Dummy, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Multi-sig. Oh God, I could see you cracking up at your computer right now, bro. Shout out to Multi-sig Dummy. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. And moreover, thank you for that romantic love story of you and your wife and how you guys met. Shout out to you guys. Or shout out to Multi-sig Dummy. I appreciate that super chat, bro. Let me just cover these super chats real quick, guys, and then we will get into the altcoins. If you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and throw them in chat. We're going to do two. Rob the Crypto Snob, it is his birthday. But Rob, let's do two tonight because we obviously are a little bit behind schedule. We will do ETH. We will do XRP. And then we're just going to kind of hang. And we're going to maybe we'll look at some other stuff. But we're going to freestyle tonight. All right, let's see here. Hannah King says, everyone is thinking September will be red, but will it? ? I love that Hannah King is always out here questioning when the masses are thinking a certain way. I love it because it's like, because that's exactly how I think, right? Like everybody thinks September's going to be bearish. And statistically speaking, it is factually a bearish month more often than not. But Hannah knows that it doesn't mean that you can't have a bullish September. And oftentimes when everybody thinks price is going one way, take this as a perfect example. Like as we broke down here, right? On the higher time frames. As we broke down here, everybody was bearish. We were not. We were just up here screaming, don't get overly bearish at the value area low. We were kind of bullish, and I felt crazy. But we stick to the TA, and we let it play out. And listen, next time we make a call like that, we might be wrong. Who knows? But we were right this time, and it's not about being right or wrong. Because even if we were wrong and we broke down from here, we had a plan to profit off that move as well. So it's really a win-win. You could be wrong on your prediction and still make money. Like, this is why I love trading, and this is why I think I have a little bit of a soft spot for when people say, you're saying it goes up or down, like that doesn't do anything. And it's like, no. It's like my life mission to make those people realize that that's not how it works, right? Because whether I'm right or wrong on what price does, I'm going to profit off the move. So if I say it's going up and Tony D says it's going down, and I'm just sticking to my plan. I know it's not going down because I know Tony D is wrong. That means I can only profit if it goes up. But the way I trade and the way real traders think is whether he's right or I'm right. Like if I'm right and he's right or wrong or whatever, no matter who's right or wrong, I'm making money whether he's right or I'm right, right? Because we're prepared and we have a trading plan for both scenarios, right? So why wouldn't we do that as traders? So, but I do just want to point out that's like a perfect example of like when everybody is bearish, typically you want to look for the opposite thing, and they're not. And then I want to point something out. Everyone who was bearish at these lows, they're not wrong. It's not that they're not looking at the right thing or anything. Like I said, below the 200-week moving average, death cross on the daily. We're in September. These are all statistically pointing to lower prices, right? But often, not instantly, right? That's not how the market moves. We knew it was more likely to get a retracement because we're bearish too, right? But we just knew that it was way more likely for us to get some kind of a retracement in here before actually getting the move down. So it's like they're right over time. Like if they were saying like I'm bearish today, if you check in like 3 weeks, we'll probably be lower, right? But we could profit on the moves up. So if we know there's a retracement, why not make money off it, right? So shout out to Hannah King. Thank you for keeping it real with the mafia and always being skeptical of the herd because the herd is usually wrong. Shout out to Hannah King. Dave Digital says sneaky. Touche, boss. Touche. I'm still lost on that, but shout out to Dave. I appreciate the super chats, bro. Always showing support. I love you dearly. Shout out to Apples Up North, gifting 5 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Shout out to Apples Up North, always gifting the memberships. I do appreciate you endlessly. And Apples Up North is like, I'm pretty sure like an OG of the channel. So we love you. We love you, Apples Up North. Thank you so much for that. Dave Digital saying PM EST. I still kind of lost. Shout out to Dave Digital. He said, why didn't you tell us about the volume profile? I know. I just keep it to myself, guys. I never talk about the volume profile, but it's probably because it never works, right? Just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. But, guys, let's go ahead and move on. And last but not least, shout out to Golden. Golden, one day you're going to get a knock on your door, and it's just going to be Frankie Candle standing at the front door. I'm going to find you, bro. I'm going to give you a hug. And then like maybe some money or something. I don't know. We got to give you something. But shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much for gifting the 50 Frankie Candles memberships. I know the Mafia is happy. I'll be honest, bro. Like guys, Golden is literally getting limited by YouTube for how much he can give us. Like they're literally saying like you've reached your limit. You can't give away any more memberships. But Golden, what are we gonna do when we run out of people to get the memberships? Like There's 2 white names on the entire chat right now that I can see. Everyone else is green. What are we going to do when there's no more members to be given? But shout out to Golden. We appreciate you, bro. You're an absolute legend. I genuinely mean this. I need to get in touch with you, and I think Tony D is in touch with you. So, Tony, text me after the stream, bro, because I want to hit him up on Discord. I need to talk to this man. All right, let's see. Apples Up North said still a noob. Shout out to Apples Up North. I don't know if that's because I said you were an OG and you're saying you're not an OG, or if you're calling me a noob, I don't know. But shout out to Apples Up North. We love you. Let's see. We get the altcoins. Oh, there we go. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Crow and Render are the alts for tonight. And depending on how Golden for President, not human websites. Not human websites. I need to get in touch with you too because I need to know. Like, are you not a human? Are you a goat that runs goat websites? You guys know what sound goats make, right? Yeah, all right, you do know. You do know. I don't have to say. I don't have to make the noise. You guys know. But guys, let's go ahead and move into the altcoins. First off, I want to take a look at Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. And here we are. I don't know what it is, guys. I will say this. I trade Bitcoin way more than I trade Ethereum. But Ethereum likes to do what we tell it to. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I probably should trade ETH more. Because, like, we say ETH go to this price, and ETH just goes, okay, sorry. Okay, I'm going. Don't hurt me. I'm going down there, I promise. Like, the next day, boom, that price. I don't know why. Like, Bitcoin does that too sometimes, but, like, I don't know. Something like Ethereum is very, very subordinate. I don't even know if that's the right word. But anyway, let's see. Gears of Crypto said, do the noise. The thing is, I don't know what noise goats make, guys. But if they did make a noise, I would assume they sound like, bah! Bah! Shout out to all the goats out there. Oh, you guys are lucky I don't have this queued. I would pull it up on TikTok right now. I saw TikTok today of a goat running away from a donkey going, blah, blah, and the donkey was just chasing this thing. The goat was terrified. It was amazing, and I just thought of you guys. I was like, I got to show this to the Mafia. It's hilarious. And they do make that noise. I thought it was crazy forever. They really do make that noise. Kind of thought I was making it up for a while. Make it rain money. Miguel, like, are we just doing like, is this like an NPC stream? Shout out to Miguel. He said, make it rain money. Bing bong. Let's go, baby. We're making it rain money. They told us to, so we had to do it. Let's do it again. Bing bong. Let's go. I don't think any of that fell on camera, but there you go, Miguel. Thank you for the glizzy. Roses smell so good. Anyway, if you know, you know. If you don't, you think I'm crazy. But let's jump right into the TA here, guys. Oh, God. Too much. You guys are too funny. All right. Taking a look here. Now, Ethereum, kind of the same deal, guys, right? Simply looking at our volume profile, which is this white box. Value area high, POC, value area low. For anybody new, so you don't get confused, low of the range, typically the midpoint of the range about, and then the high of the range, right? Once we broke below the value area high, we were looking for a move down. If we couldn't get back above that high, we were looking for a move to the POC. Once you lose that POC, you're looking for the move down to the value area low. What happened? We got the move all the way down to the value area low. You're undervalued, oversold. You're looking for a reversal back into your area of balance. You're looking to flip that value area low to support. And look at this, guys. Look at it. You look how pretty. You pop up, you flip it to support, and then where you look, Creighton C, Dave Digital, Wayne C, everybody, all my POC value area low people, when you hold that value area low as support, where are you looking for price to go? That's dang right. You're looking for it to go right to the POC. And in this case, we got a double tap and then a rejection. And as you guys know, the POC, this isn't the POC, I'm sorry. You did make the move up to the POC. It just wasn't that quick. You did get that move right to the POC, came back down, right back to the POC. And right now we are clinging to the POC slightly, which oftentimes is the case, right? The POC is the area where, here's the POCs. Let's get it, baby. I see you guys. But the POC oftentimes acts as a magnet, right? That's why a lot of times you will kind of wiggle around. You can see even here you stuck to it for quite some time before rejecting. But this is, same theory here, guys. Same theory. You deviate below the value area low. This is where you're looking for your opportunity, right? Because think about this. Let's say, right, we used the ice cream on the beach example last night, and I'll try to make another random example right here, right? Let's pretend, think of this, don't think of it as a crypto chart. Think of it as a actual thing. Like, all we're doing when we're trading is buying and selling something. And when you have something, you need to sell it for more than you paid for it, right? So if you have, this is why I say it's your opportunity. Below your value area low, this is where your opportunity is, right? Because you could pick up Bitcoin for cheap. And if you know, here's the thing. Get your uncooked lasagna and your uncooked spaghetti and dip your uncooked spaghetti in your marinade or your marinara if you're English or American. I don't know. I'm American, kind of, I guess. Anyway, dip it in that marinara sauce and start taking notes, guys, because this is the sauce. Think of the volume profile as an area of fair value. This is the price that Ethereum wants to be or should be, right? This is the fair price. So when you dip below that level, if you know this white shaded box is what Ethereum sells for or should be selling for, right? If within this white box is the area where it is a fair price for Ethereum, and then you dip below that price, well, you're buying cheap Ethereum and you're expecting that, well, hey, like it's typically this price, right? So if it goes below that price, I could expect it to eventually get back to that price because clearly it likes to get sold around at these levels, right? So once it is cheaper, you could pick up some cheap Ethereum, and then once it goes back to the price it normally is, you can then sell it for a profit. So think of it as like if I sell Aztecian Cactus Moss Water, right? And I know Aztecian Cactus Moss Water sells, well, it's free for me because I have the Aztecian cactuses in my backyard that I get it out of, but I just reuse these old Celsius cans to put it in. But let's say we sell these Aztecian Cactus Moss Waters. They sell for $2, right? You go to your local Aztecian Cactus Moss Water shop, and they're $2. They're always $2, right? It's like an Arizona iced tea. They're always 99 cents, right? Or they used to be. So sad. Anyway, they're always $2. But what happens if, you go into the store one day and they're mismarked and they're only $1? Well, you probably want to buy a whole bunch of those, and then you could go back, leave with them, right? And then the next day, go back to the store if they're $2 again. Like, it's kind of a weird example, but you're essentially seeing them at a discount, right? And then you're buying them. And then if you know, well, hey, these usually sell for $2. And like for some reason they're really cheap right now. You could buy them in bulk. And then when you know they're going to eventually go back to $2, when they're at $2, then you just go sell them, right? So that's kind of how you can think of the volume profiles. And that's why your opportunity is above and below the value areas. Same thing. When you come above this value area here, right? At this point, this is your opportunity because you're thinking to yourself, well, hey, Ethereum's a little bit overvalued. And that's where you would be looking for your short. So when you exit these areas, that's where your opportunity is. Hopefully that made sense to somebody. I don't know if the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water example was good, but we got to try to break things down in ways that people can understand. Hopefully, hit me with a hashtag value if that made any sense to you guys, because you could always think of the market as just simple buying and selling something, right? It was kind of like when we were talking about liquidity yesterday. Like, people talk about liquidity, and they're like, it's so confusing, right? But, like, all liquidity is it's simply money. And when people refer to it on the chart, they're typically talking about where people's stop losses are. But stop losses are money, right? That's all they are. So, and we use the example of selling ice cream on the beach. You're not going to walk around an empty beach trying to sell your ice cream because there's no liquidity. There's no money there. There's no people to buy. Right? So you wouldn't be walking around an empty beach. You need to go where the money is. Go where the liquidity is. So you got to go bring your ice cream to where the money is so you can transact. Right? And that's all liquidity is. So I try to break these things down as simply as possible for people to understand, especially because I swear, I think people use the word liquidity in an aggressive manner to confuse people and create barriers to entry in trading. And they use it to sell their courses or whatever. They use it as like a scary word, like, oh, like, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I just feel like people throw certain words around and I'm like, why does nobody just explain what liquidity actually is? It's like, because when I first started trading, like, I remember being so confused by that word. I thought it was like above my pay grade. I was like, liquidity, I have to be like a mathematician to understand what liquidity is. I have to be like I don't know. But it's simply just money. Let's see. Blind Wander says, go to Frankie. He makes liquidity rain. Let's go. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's see. Black Sail says, Frankie, is that salty? The Aztecian Cactus Moss Water? No, it is very sweet. Okay. Aztec. Yeah. Well, that would probably be salty, Black Sail. That would definitely be salty. This is sweet, but it comes out salty. Anyway, taking a look here, guys. Right? Undervalued. Below that value area low. We look to get a move back up. Flip it to support. You go up to the POC, and that is where we are sitting right now. And I hope you guys see this, right? Because we were able to use this volume profile to predict the move down and then again the move back up, right? This is where this is like at some point on one of the streams this past week, I probably said, guys, if we get above this level, where are we going? We probably said this on Monday. I'm not even lying. You could probably go back to the stream on Monday. I'm not 100% sure if I said it, but I would bet money. I put some money on that. But I probably said on Monday, where were we? Monday at 7:30, right about here, right? Saying, hey, if we can get above this value area low, flip it to support, Creighton C, Wayne C, everybody, all our POC people, where are we going? Well, we're most likely going to go to the POC. And where are we? We flipped it to support, and now we are at the POC. Like clockwork. It's like clockwork. And if you guys can start seeing this, you can imagine how lucrative it can be. So I will look at, here we go. Shout out to the BRB, Cryptic Sniper, Ziva Crypto Girl. Let's go, Wayne C. Let's see. Stefan Berg says, tomorrow Frankie will tell us to buy $10,000 ice cream and sell it for $15K next week. I hope it doesn't melt in between. Stefan, or Stefan, that is the trick. You got to make sure the ice cream doesn't melt, because sometimes you buy that cheap ice cream and then the ice cream just goes to zero. So, yeah. Too funny. Okay. So, yeah, what we are looking for essentially, guys, is I would be careful, right? 30-minute red dot printing. 4-hour, looking for the red dot. Lower time frames. Money flow on the 15-minute, generally trending down. Money flow on the 12-minute, generally trending down, right? 10-minute coming down. 7-minute starting to cross over into the red. So I would be careful of some rejections at this POC, which is not unlikely, right? It's already a level where you're looking for a potential rejection at. And Market Cipher B is kind of saying the same thing, but look at money flow on the 4-hour. It is coming up. So what can we deduce from this? Well, we can see that if we get a move down, because money flow is generally coming up, once that red dot prints, we could get a retracement, maybe down to this level, before, we'll take a look at better levels in a second. I wouldn't really be looking at this level, but we get that red dot, right? Maybe we get a small retracement, but money flow is coming up, which is telling us that the trend may continue locally to the upside. So we would be looking for a small retracement before putting in a higher low and coming back up. Now, where are those higher lows likely to come in at? Well, let's go ahead and pull from a high to the low. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and hide these other fibs just so we don't get confused. Well, the entire golden pocket 786 retracement of this entire move up would be down here closer to about 1575 or 1555, which is pretty close to your value area low. So this would kind of be the full golden pocket retracement. However, we could look potentially, yeah, I would watch this purple box as well for a potential bounce. But these are kind of the two major levels, right? Like basically sitting right here at about, 1600, right? Look for that test of 1600 before continuing up. If you break that $1,600 level, I would simply be looking. I'm not getting super bearish until we wind up breaking that 786 or value area low. So again, looking for a retracement either into these levels around 1600 before putting in the higher low and continuing back up. And now where are we targeting? Obviously, we are going to be targeting that value area high, because once you get above the POC, that is the most likely place for price to go, right? Now, if we break below 1600, again, I kind of look at this golden pocket here at 1575. 786 value area low is kind of your last chance. Once you start breaking the 786 value area low, if we get bullish confirmations below the value area low, just like down here, we can look for the long. But if we do not have bullish confirmations down there, we can start to look for bearish retests, or maybe we start consolidating. And just like we did before on Bitcoin, if you start consolidating down below the value area low and things look bearish, you can go down to the lower time frames, pull your range, analyze it, look for a local short in hopes that you'll break down below that range down to lower prices. So there you go. I would just, same thing as Bitcoin, really, for the most part. I would look for the local retracement down. But again, because of money flow in the 4-hour, I would be careful of some potential retraces to the downside before continuing that move back to the upside. So there you go, guys. And again, like, we are simply just within this value area, just playing this. Once we get up to the value area high, this is where you can start looking for some shorts, right? So just playing the Ethereum value areas. Shout out to Cosplay. What is going on? Throwing up those triple candles. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. Shout out to Wayne C. Said, since I joined the premium Discord, I'm not giving away as many ice creams to the market maker, and that is the point. One of the big things we get in the premium Discord is, actually, I think Crypto Totoro. I think I just saw him in here. Shout out to Crypto Totoro. There he is. Says, I sell ice cream on empty beaches so I can eat all the ice cream. I wonder if I do the same thing to get more BTC. Shout out to Crypto Totoro. Not a bad thought. Shout out to Panda Punch. What is going on, Panda Punch? Good to see you in here. Says, pump over. I think local retracement is kind of my vibe, right? Like, I'm thinking local retracement before a continuation back to the upside. So I don't think it's over, but I think we will likely, we could potentially cool off a little bit here in the short term. I think Crypto Tutorial asked the question about, Frankie, how come every time I do my TA, I have my plan, I think it's going to go down, and then I wind up getting into a short position, and then I just get wicked out, and then it just goes the way I thought anyway. And I'm like, you gave your money to the market maker. And I was able to explain to him exactly why that happens and how to prevent it. And he said I helped him out a lot, and I hope I did. But yeah, it is. That's one of the big things is people say, like, why do I get stopped out and then price instantly goes the way I thought it was going to go? And I'm like, haha, Papa Squat. Let Uncle Candles talk to you for a minute. But shout out to Crypto Totoro. Shout out to V-Slim. Short-term downside targets for ETH. Again, simply put, let me pull up a clean chart here, right? So shout out to V-Slim. Short-term targets for ETH to the downside for me would be, again, like here we are, same chart, basically the same chart, right? And like when you look at it without all the levels, guys, like it is that simple. Like it's not that easy, but it is this simple, right? You deviate below the value area. That's your opportunity. You got some local bull divs right here. I'm not saying that's what would have gotten me into the trade, but you want to look for stuff like this. And then you're just looking to go to the POC. Where does price go? Right to the POC. Right now, you have to understand that it is a little scary here. It is a little scary here. It is a little scary here, right? But eventually, this is what I mean, where the market likes to confuse you. It's very ugly price action. But look at this. You eventually get to that POC, but all of this stuff scares everybody, right? But you got to trust your TA, trust the volume profile that you will eventually get there, and it is a bumpy journey, but eventually you do oftentimes get there. So short-term downside targets for ETH, for me, V-Slim, I would just be looking at the golden pocket retracements, right? So right here, let me just go ahead and draw these boxes for you. Right here between 1574 and 1570. Excuse me, that's going to be a big level to watch. I would also, if you break that level, I don't know if you'll get all the way back down here, but I would look at this purple box between the value area low and 786, coming in between 1550 and 1555. And then simply put, after that, I would kind of just shift my eyes, probably, kind of hard to say. Let's pull up the 4-hour. Probably pull it from here. Yeah, and then like this would kind of be the other area I would be looking at, right? Between 1605 and 1595. These are all the short-term downward targets for Ethereum. And then again, all of these would enable us to potentially, bear with me, all of these would potentially enable you to continue the trend to the upside. I wouldn't really get worried about the continued move to the upside until you start breaking that 786 value area low, which again, it's not instant bearishness, right? Like if we come down here, maybe that's your higher low and then you attack the high, look for the higher low here. But once you start breaking down below this value area low 786, again, this is kind of where you want to start being a little cautious. If you don't get bullish confirmations down here like we did over here, you're not looking for the long. You might want to go to the lower time frames, analyze that local range, and then look for the short position to break down to lower prices. So there you go. That was a little custom. I kind of just went over that, but that's a custom TA there for you, V-Slim, absolute OG of the channel. I don't even have to ask how old you are. I know you're an OG, so let's go. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Tutorial. Said, yes, that was me to give Market Maker. I'm a great example. My trading has changed since you addressed that more, Frankie. And what I learned, less trades, more patience, and multiple signals to enter. Absolutely, Crypto Tutorial. That is literally the sauce. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. And a lot of people get into trades because they're bored, but what you have to do is have your levels set, have your traps set, right? Like if I were looking to long ETH here, I'm not longing if we come down to this level, right? Like I'm not longing here unless there's a valid reason for it, right? I'm not longing here. I'm not longing here. I'm not longing here. I'm not even going to long if we go higher and come, like you got to wait till it comes into your trap. And then once it comes into your trap, that's where you go ahead and pull the trigger, and you'll see your win rate absolutely skyrocket once you start doing that. Now, sometimes you won't get price to come to your trap, and price might take off without you, but that's okay. Don't FOMO into that move, right? That's a very, very dangerous game. It's an easy way to lose all your money. So there you go, guys. There's Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. Now let's go ahead and move on to Render, which I guess is our next altcoin. Let's see. Shout out to Blind Wanderer. Said, shout out to Frankie for teaching me how to analyze the charts, and shout out to Chainlink. Made me 65% profit in 2 days. We only getting started, baby. Shout out to Blind Wanderer. Congratulations, bro. Bing bong. We're going to throw some cash for you. I don't have much left up here, and I threw it all off camera. Shout out to Blind Wander. Congrats on your win, bro. Crushing it on Chainlink. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. Render, XRP, and Crow. Okay, let's do it. Let's take a look at Render. Boom. All right. Yo, let's go. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Billy White. Oh, God. One day, I'm going to make Billy cry. Happy tears. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat, bro. You are absolutely savage. I love you from the bottom of my heart, Billy. Thank you so much. Hashtag Givers Gain. Hashtag FCU. Hashtag FYP. I actually had my FCU shirt on earlier today, but I changed since. But shout out to Crypto Billy. Bro, thank you so much for the $100 super chat, dude. You're crazy. You're crazy, Billy. Shout out to you. I love you, bro. I really do. Shout out to Crypto. Show Billy some love. Hashtag Givers Gain. Let's get it. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's go, bro. Thank you so much. Billy, you really don't have to do that, bro. You're amazing, bro. I appreciate you so much. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here with Render. And let's see what we got going on. Let's go up to the daily time frame. Billy, one day, when you're down here in the ATL, or I come to visit you, we're gonna make you cry happy tears. We're gonna do something for you. Let's see. Cody wants a shout out. Shout out to Cody. Where is Cody? I don't see his name. But shout out to Cody. I used to have a dog named Cody. He was awesome. I'm sure Cody in real life is awesome too. Shout out to Cody. Bing bong. Okay, here we go. Taking a look here for Render. Let's go ahead and pull those ranges. Little bada boom, little bada bing. Actually gonna take it from here. Yo, Crimson's girlfriend says shout out to Cody. So let's go. Who's Cody? Shout out to Cody. Let's go. Let's see. Crypto Billy says Mafia Magic, baby. Let's go. Oh, shout out to LA Ray. Says I saw you in Lifer's channel. Yeah, I was hanging out in Lifer's live stream earlier today. Sammy Cup and Handy, killing it over there. Shout out to Lifer. We're gonna have Lifer on. We're gonna have Lifer on soon, I think. But shout out to LA Ray. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you. You're a member too. You're a Frankie Candles member. Let's get it. Cody's probably blushing now. Where is Cody? I do not see Cody. Shout out to Cody though. But here we are, guys. This is kind of what I would actually take these levels, right? This is kind of the range I'd be looking at, and you're below your value area, right? And what do we got here? Here it is, guys. Here it is. Hang on. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and let me just pull this. You know what? Maybe I won't. Maybe. Yeah, we will. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to change some settings here real quick. Let's see. Where am I? Am I blind? What is going on? There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, I just wanted to see something real quick. Anyway, excuse me. Here we are. You break down below your value area low. What happened below your value area low? Well, this is your opportunity, right? Because if you're trading within here and this is your fair price for Render, right? You know Render usually is trading, or for the past, since April, essentially, or since April, it's been trading between $1.63 and $2.48. And then all of a sudden it comes down here and it's $1.30. That's a discount, right? And it's not just that it's at a discount, but you also have signals letting you know that price may reverse, right? You have this bullish divergence. You have lower lows on your price, higher lows on your momentum, letting you know that price is likely to correct to the upside. You have the discrepancy between the momentum and the price action, right? So this gives you the bullish divergence, letting you know that you may be able to get a rejection or a reversal here. And where would you be targeting? Well, I mean, me personally, I would target the value area low of the previous range, because that is the target, right? Because if you get this big reversal, that's where you're expecting your first level of resistance to come into. But not only that, you would also be looking for this to get you above the value area low, potentially shoot up towards that POC, right? Now, real quick, let me go ahead and pull some fibs here from this impulse down, and there you go, right? Like, you have the confluence right here. You have your 786 and golden pocket with your value area low smack dab in the middle, right? So we haven't looked at Render in a while, or at least on this chart, but this would kind of be the area we'd be looking for rejections, right? And we also know that if you are able to get above that value area low, and more specifically here, you'd have to break that 786 as well. Once you get above this purple box, if things look bullish, you could look for a shot up to that POC, coming in at $1.94. But right now, locally, daily bull div confirmed, right? Like, that's a pretty high probability hit rate, right? Like, on a daily bull div, as you're already undervalued. You have the daily bull div, which is likely of a reversal. There you go, right? But I would look for potential locally. If you continue up, I would still look to get rejected from your value area low 786. But really, you're looking to flip that purple box. If you can flip the purple box, hold it as support, that's where you're looking to come up towards that $1.94 area. Now, looking at the local price action here, like very similar to a lot of this other stuff. Probably not a bad time to be looking for some potential scalp shorts. Not really. I will say this: you don't really have like the continued divergences, but you are hitting your level of resistance. Look at your 4-hour VWAP. Looking to come down, print that red dot very, very soon here. Yo, who is Cody? Where is Cody? I don't see a Cody in chat. Who is? Happy birthday, Cody. Is Rob the Crypto Snob now Cody? Cody Strong. Dude, who's Cody? Who is Cody? I'm losing my mind. Hang on. Sometimes Tony D helps me out. Sometimes Tony T just texts me and tells me what things are. Let's see. Well, he did text me something, but he's not telling me who Cody is. But Tony, yes, I agree to what you did text me. All hail Cody. Who is Cody? Cody got embarrassed and ran. We shouted out Cody. Hashtag who's Cody? Yo, is this going to be a thing? Cody is so loved. But shout out Cody. Dude, what is going on? Is Cody Golden? Shout out to Golden. Rip Cody. Dude, yo, who is Cody? Cody and Cody. What is going on? Anyway, continuing on here, guys. 4-hour red dot looking to print, so kind of a similar sentiment here. I would be careful of a little bit of a retracement to come in here. Cody says he hates shout-outs. Shout out to Dave Digital. Cody doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. Oh, God. Shout out to Cody and Crimson Caravan Company. Cody, come out and play. Yo, little bing bong. Let's go. Shout out to Multi-Sig Dummy. Cody, dude, wait, yo, what is going? Is there like a group in the Discord that is like everybody say this and confuse Frankie? Yo, Cody the Legend, bro, what is going on? Cody is what the C stands for in BTC. Yo, Jay Long, bro. Shout out to you. Who killed Cody? Cody is the new meme. Yeah, who killed Cody? Oh, God. Okay, well, Cody is goated. Yeah, Cody is 100% goated. I don't know who Cody is, but he's goated. Yeah, you guys are funny. Cody's the kind of guy to smell pie and float away. You guys ever see have you guys seen that meme? Cody's the type of guy to say, ooh, good golly gosh, when something happens. But anyway, let's continue on. 4-hour red dot, very similar to a lot of this other stuff. I would be careful of a short-term retracement. Kind of hard just because we don't really have a recognizable range here. Can pull this probably. Yeah, it's just kind of ugly to be quite honest with you. To be quite frank with you. Little bit difficult. Let me see if I can get any confluence with this golden pocket. I would, if we cool off here, I would look at these levels for a potential bounce. 786, golden pocket value area low locally. Not the strongest level, but if you do cool off, I would look for this area as some support. But other than that, I would just look for a retracement. But like if you're looking, your 4-hour money flow is kind of coming out, not coming out, but looks like it may have already run its course here. Yeah, 12-hour money flow actually looks pretty dang good. So yeah, I would look for, again, same thing for a lot of this stuff. I'd look for a little retracement before continuing back up. But there you go. Really what I want you guys to take away here is like where the real opportunity was. It was as we deviated below the macro value area, and then you get the daily bull div, and your thought would be to ride this back up to your first purple box, which you hit pretty quickly, which is simply just a golden pocket, right? So that's what I want you guys to take away. But locally, I look for a short-term retracement before continuing back to the upside. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Tony D, says the new sauce jars just dropped. Let's go. Yo, those are fire. Shout out to Tony D. Those are fire. Look at the weekly on render. Let's check it. Yeah, green. Oh, baby. This is nice. This is nice. Who said that? Yo, let's go. That's fire. Yo, I love that. I love that. Yo, Crimson Caravan Company said Cody counted to infinity. Twice. Let's go. I love those memes. I don't even really get them. It's like you just say things. I don't know. How do you explain that meme? It's like the Chuck Norris memes. But yes, yo, look at that. Look at that sauce jar, baby. Let's go. I love that. Yo, let's go. Crypto Billy said altcoins are D, To, Ni, D. Yo, shout out to Crypto Billy. Yo, these sauce jars are fire. It was so nice. He did it twice. Let's go. All right, let's continue on. Yo, that sauce jar. Let's get it. I love that, man. But looking at the weekly on render, I will say money flow coming out, but your VWAP is printing that beautiful green dot on the weekly. Yeah. Money flow generally coming out on most of the other time frames, though. 4-hour money flow coming into the red. 4-day money flow coming into the red. 3-day money flow also coming out locally with the VWAP rolling over. You see that? Getting a little bit of a rollover here with your VWAP starting to peak out. That could bring you back deeper into the red. But weekly green dot on top of your, could push you up back deeper into those blue box. But there you go. Yo, that sauce can be popping. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and pull up Crow. Take a look at the Coinbase chart. Crow absolutely, let's see. KuCoin. All right, yeah. So taking a look at Crow. I mean, you got the weekly bull div? Give it to me, baby. Let's go. There it is. Weekly bullish divergence on Crow. Now, I'd be careful with this. Let the sauce flow. Let's get it. Let's see. Lower lows on your price action. Higher lows on your momentum waves. You do have the weekly bull div. Now, remember, this is, originally what wound up giving a lot of this stuff a bounce as we were kind of going into the bear market, right? Weekly bull div on Bitcoin was what gave us the bounce. But this is, I'd be careful with this. It's not, excuse me, it's not really playing out as we would like. 6-day bull div also printing. You might be able to come up a little bit with Crow. I'm not going to lie. I mean, your 6-day bull div, your 4-day bull div did nothing. You basically just went sideways and then, just didn't do anything. So I would be careful with this, to be 100% honest with you. I mean, you do generally just have continued bullish divergence here, right? Just consistent lower lows, consistent higher lows. Eventually, this could wind up giving you a push to the upside. Now, where would I expect this to go? I'm actually going to do a little bit more local analysis for this. I'm going to pull this little range that we got going on right here. I would kind of watch. God, it's kind of hard, to be honest with you. Let me pull this to the current price. Yeah, I mean, I would look to potentially get back up inside. This chair is sinking again. Yo, Dave Digital said Cody made money long in BTC in September, 13 years in a row. Shout out to Dave Digital. You guys are crazy. Shout out to Crypto Pricey. Says, is the premium Discord newbie trader friendly? Crypto Pricey, that really depends. What I would recommend to you, I would love to have you in the premium Discord. Don't get me wrong. I hope you do wind up in there. What I will say is it's definitely beginner friendly. We do live streams twice a week, Monday and Friday. And they're usually long and they're usually very, very educational. What the premium Discord will do is expedite your learning process 100-fold, right? But the thing is, if there are trade setups where I may be referring to things that you don't fully understand. It really depends on how new you are. But all in all, it is going to expedite your learning process completely, like 100-fold. What I would recommend, if you are completely new though, before you spend the money to get into the premium, what I would say is go through the whole YouTube channel. The whole YouTube channel is completely free. And it's not completely organized, but it is basically an entire trading course for free. Like, a lot of people charge for what I give away on the YouTube channel for free. So I would definitely, if you have gone through the entire YouTube channel, you'll be basically caught up to how I trade and the things that I look at. And you'll just be generally more informed on like how to trade, how to do TA. And then the premium Discord will be basically like super OP for you. But it is beginner friendly if you wanted to hop in there. RPM87 said the premium's fire. I appreciate you for saying that, bro. But there you go. I would say definitely run through the whole YouTube channel just because it's free. And also, what you could do is you could also go ahead and let me pull up the Discord here. What you could do is you could hop in the dining room, bro. This is what I would kind of recommend to you. I'm going to do this real quick before we continue the TA. So if I pull up the Discord here, right, I'm not going to pull up the premium. It wouldn't be fair for the people who pay. But what you could do is, like I said, go through the YouTube channel. It's 100% free. Get caught up on everything. Depending on how fast you do that, that would kind of be a pretty good prerequisite. But what you could do is, if I could find it in my own dang Discord, there we go. The dining room, this is if you signed up with any of our affiliate links, like the Femex link that they posted earlier. If you signed up with any of those affiliate links, you could come to the dining room, post your user ID. If you use we have Femex, BitGet, BingX, and MEXC. If you sign up with our codes, you can click whatever exchange you signed up with our code, put your user ID here, hit submit, and then give the mods a few days to get you in, and you'll get access to all these channels. In the premium TA channel, you get one post from the premium Discord for free. Is this the long that we're in right now? I don't think so. But there you go, right? Like oftentimes they're setups, sometimes they're just TA. But you get one post per week in the dining room for completely free. All you have to do is sign up with one of our affiliate links, right? And then you get one of these posts per week. A lot of times it's a trade setup, and a lot of times they hit, right? So you could kind of get one setup a week and just kind of get familiar with how I post in the premium Discord. And if you read this and you're like, okay, confirmations for this one, blah blah blah. Oh, this looks good. Maybe you take the trade, you learn something, or maybe you take the trade and it hits, and you like that. We do this every single day in the Discord, right? You get it once a week here for free. But it's really what it's here for is to give you a taste of what we do, because it's not trade signals. It's not buy here, sell here, but it's more like this is usually what I do, right? I explain exactly what we're looking for, and then I draw it out. I'm like, hey, guys, if we get this stuff, like this is what I'm looking for, and that's when I'm getting into the trade, blah, blah, blah. And I basically give you a spoon-fed trade setup so you actually learn why you're getting into the trade. You're not just blindly taking the trades. You're actually learning how to trade yourself. That way, on a weekend where I'm not trading, not in the Discord, you might see a setup that you like, and you might be able to take it. And that's the whole point of my Discord. I don't want signals. I don't want to tell you when to buy and sell because you don't learn anything. And the second that I don't give you a signal, you're not going to be making money, right? So I want to teach you how to fish, right? I don't want to give you a fish. I want to teach you how to fish, right? So I would recommend that. Like, don't get me wrong. I would love to have another paid member in our Discord. But, really my main focus here is to give you value, right? So I would say go through the YouTube channel. It's 100% free. Get in here. It's essentially free. Honestly, if you sign up with any of our affiliate links, you're probably going to get bonus trading funds. So you actually get kind of free money in a weird way. And then try all that out because it costs you absolutely nothing, right? And then if you're starting to dig this and you're like, if I could get, you might do this, and you're like, wait, you do this every day? I'm getting in that Discord. So there you go. This will just give you kind of a freebie taste of what's in the Discord. And then really the super, super saucy on top of the spoon-fed trade setups are those live streams. Seems to be what everybody really, really loves. Because in those live streams, I straight up break down exactly what I look for, and we give it all away, right? So there you go, bro. Hopefully it helps you out. I didn't mean to spend that much time on that, but there you go. I know a lot of people are probably curious about the premium Discord. So there you go. That's kind of what I would recommend. I would love to just blindly tell, yes, buy my premium Discord. Just sign up. Don't think, just buy it. But no, I want you to really, really get your values worth. So there you go. That's it on that. But anyway, back to Crow. What I would look for here, right? I would look for a potential bounce, right? Like these higher time frames putting in these divergences, even the daily here, not getting many moves, but you have to confirm bullish divergences. I would potentially look for a move up. Key levels. Locally, I don't even know if I'd be looking at these levels up here just yet. You might have to go more local. I would look more for something like this. Oh God, this is rough. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. This is kind of what I would think is likely. Now, this is a little bit of a wonky range. However, here's the thing. What do you have here, right? And now this is kind of wonky, but I'm kind of more analyzing not a range, but a downtrend, right? We came to the value area low. What did you do with the value area low? You put in a bullish divergence at your value area low. You got your bounce. And now it looks like you're trying to flip that POC to support. But here's the interesting thing. If you are able to hold this POC as support, you don't have to push much higher. Like really, if you break these highs, you may be able to get a quick move up to the value area high because of this giant volume gap, right? Where if we're here in the beginning of the stream, you may have some single prints in here, et cetera, et cetera. But let me actually pull this local range. Yeah, so this is what I would look for, to be honest, on Crow. You got the weekly bull div, so on the macro, you could get more upside. So the fact here locally that you put the 4-hour bull divs in at the value area low, at this point, you're thinking if you can hold this value area low as support, that's where we're looking for a move up to the value area high. And because of the gap here, I would actually want to mark out this gap. I'm going to mark this. I'm going to mark it as a white box, right? This is a low volume gap. So if price decides to bing bong up to this value area high, if you're able to flip that value area high to support and break above these highs at about 0.05330, that's where you may be able to get a quick move up through this gap and start coming up here towards that value area high at 0.05890. So there you go. That's kind of what I would look for on Crow. There you go. Let me pull up chat here again. I lost chat because I pulled up Discord. There we go. Shout out to Tony D. Said, if you join the dining room, you'll get your first premium post tomorrow. There you go. All right. Let's see. Shout out to Stefan. Says, very honest approach, Frankie. Way to go. Hey, shout out to Stefan. Or Stefan. I don't know how. I guess I would say Stefan. No problem, bro. I do that just because it's hard to, like, it's because I genuinely feel like that. Like, I think some people think that, like, I made my brand like that. My brand is me as a person. Like, the reason I don't want people who are looking for signals in our premium Discord. It's not because I don't want them because I don't like them. It's just because I don't want unhappy customers. Like, there are other groups you can go to that will tell you, Crow, buy now. Crow, sell now. But it doesn't really work that well, right? Because, like, all the people that are taking those trades are likely getting worse entries than the person posting them, right? So I would rather have you see the setup before it's coming. That way you could sit there with your trap. Like, okay, Frankie gave me the trap. This is on my chart now. Frankie put his trap on my chart. Here we go. Okay, price is in our trap. I know to look for this confirmation, and this confirmation. All right, I got the 2 confirmations. There's a 3rd confirmation. Okay, I think this is where I take the trade. And, like, it's more of a journey of learning, right? And that's what I want my Discord to be. So I appreciate you saying that. But it is genuine. I don't want people come in and they go, what happened? I thought there were signals in here. And we're like, no, man, like no problem. Like, this is how you get out of here. There's no signals here. Like, that's not what we do. But anyway, shout out to Stefan. Thank you for saying that, bro. Just trying to be frank with you, right? You missed my earlier super chat. Shout out to that was for Crypto Pricey. Shout out to you, bro. Hopefully that helps you out. Cody said he hates shout out. Shout out to Dave Digital. I missed your earlier super chat. Tony D, you had an earlier super chat? I don't know the exact number, but he donated between 500 and 600 memberships. Golden Mafia member for life. Thank you, Golden. Shout out to Golden. Everybody shouting out Cody. Tony D, I do not have any other super chats from you. I don't know what you're talking about. But shout out to Tony D. I might have just been reading an old message. All right, let's go ahead. He said be frank. Shout out to the BRB. All right, let's go. Hey, shout out to Mark Dutch, gifting 5 Frankie Candles memberships. I appreciate you, bro, and I know the Mafia does as well. Shout out to you, bro. You just read it. I'm shot. Did you read the one already? Did you read that one already? Yes, I did. Shout out to Tony D. But guys, I think that is all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Cody is Jody's brother. Yo, Tony D, are you aware of this Cody thing? Bro, please text me if you know this Cody thing. I don't know what's going on with Cody. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I'm going to go ahead and pull up that wheel of pain and pleasure. Start spinning that wheel. How many likes did we get? I doubt it was 550. This is we started at a weird time. 302 likes. Yikes. Bearish divergence on the likes lately. But shout out to you guys. We're going to spin it 3 dang times. Here we go. Spin numero uno. Let's get it. Let's see. Never mind. I'll ask Cody to check link. Yo, shout out to Blind Wander. You rock. Thanks, Frankie. Shout out to Crypto Tutorial. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for being here. And Blind Wander, if you hang out to the end of the stream, you never know what those Frankie fake outs are going to give you. You never know when they're going to bring you link analysis. You also never know when they're going to bring you random goat bars, whatever you say. Let's see. Dave Digital said, Cody said too many shout-outs. Oh, wait, is that really? Yo, that's funny. Did he get to? He's definitely still in here, that means, right? I assume he got blocked. Dang. I love that when people come in. It was like, stop shouting people out. I'm like, sorry, man. I forgot it was your show. My bad. My bad. My bad. Let's see. Spin number 3. Let's get it. Is that the joke, Dave? I guess that is the joke. He came in and said no shout-outs. Shout out to Cody. I know you're still watching, bro. I'm like just totally blind on this too. Like this, I might be getting this whole thing wrong and I'm shouting out someone that's not there. It is Cody's show. I know. I'm sorry. Miguel, I know. Not sure what I was thinking. Like sometimes, you got to check yourself. That's why you got to be surrounded by good people. For a second, I thought it was my show, but I totally forgot that this was given to me by Cody. So yeah. Let's see. All right, there we go. I got to give you guys another one. We can't do one giveaway for today. That's not gonna work. Let's see. Cody for president. Let's go. You know what sucks? If that's true, if Cody was out here like hating on the shout outs and then he got blocked, like now he's like part of the show and he'll never be able to speak about it. Like we could be interacting right now, Cody. We could be talking. We could be chilling. You could be asking me questions. I could help you. But you had to hate the shout outs. Why? Anyway, let's see. There's a new Cody in town, Frankie. Shout out to Post. All right, there we go. Let's see. All right, we got 2 out of 4 giveaways. Not that bad. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out, guys. And with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for today's live stream, guys. Again, sorry, me and Tony were stuffing our faces with a little bit of rigatoni. But, Tony, guys, by the way, Tony D only eats rigatoni. Because his name is in it. It's I know. It's whatever. Anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in on tonight's live stream, especially Cody. We love you, bro. We love you. One day, maybe we'll unmute you. We know you're still here, but we love you, bro. We love you. We don't hate on people who hate. We love the people who hate because we know that you're just looking for love. Anyway, with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got. And Blind Wander, like I said, stick around, bro. You never know what's going to happen on those Frankie fake outs. But with all that being said, guys, I'll see you here tomorrow. Same place, same time. We'll be doing those giveaways. Don't forget. Same place, same time. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy Deezy. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
I don't think they running at my pace. Jordan 1s, gotta keep them laced. If she bad, I might have to get a taste. Whip go vroom, I'll set them on a chase. I don't think they running at my pace. Jordan 1s, gotta keep them laced. If she bad, I might have to get a taste. Whip go vroom, I'll set them on a chase. That's the way. I said I'ma do it, I'ma get it anyways. All I do is work, I got this money on my brain. I don't like to talk, I just got way too much to say. They been trying to get me, I'ma get them out of the way. I said I'ma do it, I'ma go and get it back. We got in a whip, then I went and hit the dash. I've been thanking God for this life that I done had. I don't need opinions, dog, I only need the facts. What's real, dog? Sitting still, dog. They in they feels, dog. I got these bills, dog. Need a meal, dog. If they wantin' less, it's no deal, dog. I don't think they running at my pace. Jordan 1s, gotta
bro. I see you, bro, and I do love you. I don't know. We'll try to unban you, bro. But it's funny, guys. He's here. I can see him. But shout out to Cody. You're look at you. You're on TV. Shout out to you, bro. But Blind Wander, I was telling you to stick around. You never know what's going to happen on the Frankie Fakeouts. Let's take a look at Chainlink here. I actually don't feel too bad about Chainlink. It actually doesn't look horrible. So, obviously, Chainlink has just been bing-bonging around in this kind of accumulation range forever. And we have deviated below that value area while also putting in a pretty saucy bullish divergence. It's not just a bull div. And I'll tell you why. You have the bull div like from all the way back here, right? Lower lows on your price, higher lows on your momentum waves. You got a little pump. And then you came down for that second move down, put in another drive of bullish divergence. But here's the thing that makes this a little extra saucy. Now, I will point this out. Money flow is coming out. That does not look good, right? So this would look much, much better if we had money flow about to cross into the green. So that would be like a mega, mega, mega bullish signal. And I would be looking for price to get a rip back up to the high of the range. But we don't have that here. However, you do have a nice little anchor wave here with a nice little trigger wave here, tight to the zero line. A lot of times you get decent moves out of these trigger waves, and especially because you have the bullish divergence, right? 16-hour kind of telling you the same story. 2-day, bullish divergence is now printing. As you deviate below the value area low, guys, remember what usually happens there is you do get the move up. So just naturally looking at the volume profiles, I would look for a potential move up to that POC. Up to that POC would be the next stop if we're able to hold above this level. So we're not. I would argue that you're not decisively above that value area low yet. Trying to find that dot. There we go. But this is kind of what I would look for, guys. Like these could give you a move up. If it does, you're looking to hold this value area low. We're kind of playing with it right now. If you could decisively get above this, I would be looking for a move up to that POC. I'm actually going to pull up the VRVP real quick. And you can see on the VRVP, you can see you actually have a significant gap. You actually have a significant gap up to about $6.61. And then your next area of resistance is going to be that golden pocket POC, right? So this is kind of what I would look for, Blind Wander. On Link, it's basically going to be looking for first a move up to our first blue purple box at about $6.60. And then if you get a move past that, looking for the POC golden pocket. So really, I mean, you're just kind of looking for a move up to the POC. I would expect turbulence at this level here. But really, you're expecting the golden pocket POC to come in eventually. And with the daily bull divs, with the 2-day bull divs, I mean, even the 2-day money flow doesn't look horrible. But locally, looking similar to everything else. Locally, you could chill out, right? And kind of get a retracement down. Money flow kind of coming out on the 4-hour. So again, I wouldn't say you're decisively above your value area low just yet. But again, you deviate, you have the divs, you could get that move up. And these are the first 2 levels I would be watching. Shout out to Blind Wander, bro. That one was for you. Had to cover that chain link for you, bro. I saw you out there asking for it. So, but guys, I think that is all the time. I think that is all the time I've got for tonight's live stream. And Cody, hang on. I don't know if I want to give away this secret, guys. I could see who's in the chat. Okay, so Cody is still here. Cody, I actually do love you, bro. Like, I'm actually not throwing shade at you. I appreciate you watching the show. I don't know what you actually said that got you hidden. But we love you, bro, and we will try to unhide you at some point because, shout out to Cody. #free Cody. We love you, bro. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy Geezy. That's all I got. Frank Candles out. Bing, bang.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the